Oh my god. Oh, child intros are hard. Let's just get into the
Who
video.
you wanna be? A mirror should help you see. This is what you're doing it for. I know you're sore, don't forget to.
Hey you guys, so this video isn't gonna be long at all because I don't really like talking about myself, but I wanted to get something on here just so you guys knew what to expect coming from my channel. Y'all knew a little bit about me and the type of person that I am and what you could just kind of expect from my channel moving forward. So in short, my name is Yvonne Harris. I have recently started going by my screenwriter's name, which is Ivy Lee. I am a alumni of the Detroit School of Arts. My alma mater, baby. My alma mater. It's one of the best performing arts schools here in the city of Detroit. I can honestly say that I am where I am at. I am the person I am because of the people at that school. I enjoyed the experience. It taught me a lot going to that school. It taught me a lot about professionalism. It taught me a lot about working hard, even when you don't feel like doing it. It taught me how to persevere. I learned perseverance all through my high school years for sure. Because if you know, you know. Yeah, I went there, did all 4 years at DSA. I am a classically trained singer, so I did have a major in vocal music and vocal technique. I minored in theater. You can even call it that because before them DSA theater majors come in my comments, I was a theater minor. Thank you. So yeah, that's kind of like my back history or whatever. I kind of got into this field by doing my very first stage play. I did my very first stage play back in 2022, 2023, maybe 2023. And it was called Tilted. Shout out to Tilted, that's my baby. I wrote it, I produced it, I directed it. I did absolutely everything when it came to that film. And that was my first time ever having everything be like my call, my shot. Like if it failed, it was on me. If it was a success, it was on me. I might still have the footage. So if y'all want me to like post the footage to my stage play, y'all just let me know. I might post that. I did my first show back in 2023, and that's kind of how I got more into this film industry because I met a lot of great people who came to that show. And yeah, then I was like, okay, what else can I get into? I've always loved movies. I've always been a cinephile. Like, I love everything about cinematography. I love everything about acting and just being a whole nother person. Like, it was very intriguing to me. So then I just kind of ran with that. I decided to go back to school to get my second associates, which is in film with a concentration in screenwriting. And so I really wanted to learn like the basis of how to put these stories together, how to make things work. And so I took the classes. I took a creative writing class, I took a screen formatting class, I took all of those classes and graduated with that degree. And then from there, it was just a matter of getting into the field. When it came to getting into the field of film, my biggest challenge became getting out of my own way. I am not a big type of person who wants to be like in the forefront, who wants to be like out in the open, who wants everyone looking at her. Anybody who has met me in person knows that I'm definitely an extroverted introvert. Like I love to stay to myself and just kind of be reserved. And for me, the hardest part was just putting myself out there and being comfortable with putting myself out there. And marketing myself. And of course, like that's something that we're taught in school, but it became really, really hard to do when it was time to do it. So I was like doing multiple like casting calls. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be an actor first because I did also have my associates in theater arts. I studied acting, I studied fundamentals and the basics of how to become a different character. And so I was like, okay, boom, I'll just kind of start there. But then that didn't work out. Wasn't nobody trying to hire me. Wasn't nobody trying to like put me in a film. None of that. All the roles that I was auditioning for, I was either I looked too young for or I was actually too young for. And so one day I went to a casting call at 36 Vision Studios, and that was my first introduction. That was my first like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna put myself out here no matter how I feel, even if I'm scared, I'm gonna put myself out here. And so I did into the casting call, and I went through the whole auditioning process. The guy loved me. He was like, dang, like you're great. we should definitely get you in a movie. And I was like, actually, I'm more so a writer. I went to school for that, and I would feel more comfortable writing something for you. He goes, and this is a shout out to Tim, but he goes and he introduces me to the owner of the studio. Shout out to 36 Vision Studios. But yeah, I went in there, I talked to him, and in all of my scaredness, I still went and I said, yo, I'm Yvonne, you need me, I'm a writer. Let me write for you. It ain't go exactly like that, but in my head, that's how it was. He goes and he tells me, like, okay, boom, go ahead and we're gonna start working. Get in contact with him, and I've been rocking with 36 ever since. My very first film is right up under a partnership with his company, and yeah, that's kind of how I got my start into this industry. I am a filmmaker, okay? What that means is that I do pretty much everything within film. I am learning camera work, I'm learning a lot about lighting, I'm learning a lot about sound, and I'm doing all of this kind of independent. So what I mean when I say that I am an independent filmmaker is that basically I did not go to film school to learn how to be a filmmaker. I am kind of learning everything as I go. I am learning while actively being on different sets, while actively being in the trenches, to be honest. The good, the bad, the highs, the lows, everything. Outside of film, I do have my own production company. It's called the HAFTA Production Team, and HAFTA stands for Hearts for the Arts. It's dedicated to creating or putting together a team for those who need it. So, for example, let's just say that you were an independent filmmaker and you needed somebody to connect with to have the resources to shoot your film. That's where HAFTA comes in. Put the team together for you, and so all you have to do is incorporate us into your budget, and then we will come and we will be your team dedicated to your project. In addition to that, I also use it for some of the smaller things that I may do, like for my stage play, as well as like some of my short films. I use it for those kind of things, to just kind of put my own self out there outside of the production company that I work with. In addition to that, I also do administrative assistant work. I have an administrative assistant company called Aminata. And Aminata means loyalty, where we are loyal to handling your schedule and doing branding, content management, project management, things of that nature. I find that I feel most in control. I feel most in my element when I am doing that type of work. When I'm doing administrative work, I feel that's where I'm supposed to be. I'll be just talking about what it's like being an independent filmmaker here in the city of Detroit, as well as going along, showing you guys some of the ups and downs, some of the tips and tricks that I have learned while being on set, while being a director, while being a screenwriter, and as well as posting a couple behind the scenes shots of me working on a couple sets. And I might even throw in some sneak peeks of my upcoming film, Our Father, in addition to some other stuff that I'm working on. Make sure that y'all are liking and sharing this video. Make sure y'all are following me on Instagram so y'all can continue to follow this journey everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty much me, in a nutshell. My name is Yvonne Harris. I am 23 years old. I am a graduate of the Detroit School. I'm not doing it no more. In, girl, what is wrong with you? Lock in. Get it together. Hi. My name. No, I'm kidding. Okay.